Okay. That's not what I was wanting to play. That is also very loud. Why did I not get this set up before the stream? Oh my goodness. Hey, appreciate it. Remembering our work nights. Not that that's a hard thing to remember, but thank you. I mean, I still say morning and all that, but yes, internally it is my evening. It wasn't bad. I worked kind of slow today. It was my Friday, so it's understandable to work slow on your Fridays. I want to take it easy. But it's been a minute since I've done a dev stream, so it's about time. Let me get these updates posted everywhere, and then we can start. What we are going to attempt to work on today is I'm going to get this little HUD notification thing up and running. So basically Nova is the AI that will speak to you. Essentially Nova is the announcer. It's going to be a female AI, and she'll talk to you throughout the process of the game, I guess. I'm trying to get this little thing set up so that anytime that a Nova voice line plays, things like, you know, gained the lead, lost the lead, stuff like that, and it'll probably be a lot more character in it than just gain the, like, you know, Halo's announcer works because it's just gain the lead, lost the lead. Like, it's very like, not monotone, but like, it is just the multiplayer god announcer, as it's called. I don't even know what due process is, so I'm gonna Google that real quick. Is that the one that you showed me? What's up? I've been great. Honestly, I've been great. How are you been? All right, let's. Came out during COVID. That's crazy. Let's look at this trailer.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Are we going all out?
Yeah.
But they could do this.
I remember this.
I don't think that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
trying to open storefront.
I feel like storefronts are they're gonna play door charge freezer and then wall charge storefront so you can look.
I
at the
forgot
front.
completely
Who's
about this
rocking
game.
what? Take an extra flash just to see if we can finish it right here.
Alright, I'm out of here.
Well, they're going now. They're ready.
I think I'm heading north.
All right.
Who's got a quacker?
Do we have arcade or do we have it?
We still have arcade.
3, 2, 1.
No, I'm going in.
Yeah, I remember this game. But no, I did not see that had its revival update. I completely forgot that game even existed, as is evident by me forgetting. So Nova is the multiplayer, or not even multiplayer, it's just the AI that will be all around. Like, if there's a campaign, Nova is essentially the equivalent of Cortana, I guess. So basically, instead of having, like, you know, Jeff Steitzer has his double kill, triple kill, all that stuff, that will instead be done by Nova, and it's a female. I have someone who has, I guess, accepted to do voice acting for it. So whenever her and I can get together, we will be able to do the voice recordings for Nova. But for now, I have very basic. Let me see if I can find it in my files real fast. Project Onyx, sounds, temporary voice lines. Yeah, I had just used text to speech on Google and just recorded that, so it's just the
Gained the
Google.
lead.
Yeah, like it's literally just the Google.
Lost the lead.
Yeah.
Tied the leader.
So it's just the Google text to speech for temporary and I'm gonna throw those. Yeah, super quality. But I'm gonna throw those into the engine just to get the stuff tested. But essentially, my buddy sent me this image, which I thought was really sick. And basically, I don't like that Discord now has an image viewer embedded into Discord, but he sent me this, which I think looks sick. So what I'm going to attempt to do is attempt to slightly recreate this style. I know how I'm going to do the bars. I don't quite know how I'm going to do the material for like the nice smooth waveform. But if I can get this to appear on top of, essentially in this area, I think that'll look really sick. So you can actually like see the voice lines react, or like the waveform reacting to the voice lines. So if I can get that, that would look really cool. That's going to be the attempt today. I don't think I'll actually be able to get it to look like this. At the very least, I can get the bars to look like that, because the bars are just that's just a simple gradient, and we're gonna set that up right now actually. So but basically anytime a Nova voice line plays, for example, I'm not going to have the medals be voiced by Nova. I think we're going to go in a different direction. We still have to play around with it to see if it feels right, but I think we're going to go with more of a more of just like a sound effect for the medals. So like I kind of want to go with like slightly the Valorant route, where each kill that you get, if it's a double kill, triple kill, it's kind of more of like a musical note in a way. And each incrementing kill just gets like a higher and higher in pitch. So, like if I just look up a video real quick. Pause this, and yeah, if we look at this Valorant. So that's 2 kills, 3 kills. You can see how, and then you have this one. Like, yeah, you see how each kill it gets like higher and higher in I guess pitch, or I don't know. I'm not a music guy or a sound guy. And then the 5th kill, like it's this you know, dun 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 dun, like it's this very like powerful like sound. That's kind of what I want to do for my medals. So each medal essentially would have its own unique sound. Kill sounds would have like a musical sound. Then maybe you have things like assists and well, it's not necessarily just higher in volume. Like it's higher in pitch and maybe higher in volume too. But it's the higher in pitch that mainly gets it. And then yeah, the 5 kill streak, it's that dum 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 dum. And they actually have different weapons have like varying like reverb. Like you see that one was a much different sound. There's a ding dong dong. So like each gun actually has its own like custom. Yeah, you can get more than 5 kills in Valorant. It's in Valorant, if you get more than 5 kills, it just plays the same it just plays the 5 kill streak. So it just keeps going dum 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 every time you get a new kill. But really the only time that happens is if you're playing like deathmatch. Yeah, in Onyx you can, but I would still have like those stages, I guess. So it would be like you would go dum 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 dum, and then like the 5th one would be dum 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 dum, and then the 6th one would, I guess, go back to that, like, I don't know. we haven't messed around with that yet. I don't even have medals in this version, but you know, you can get way more than 5 kills in a life. I mean, honestly, you can get as technically an infinite number of kills depending on the game rules and your skill and if you die or not. So, but that's kind of what I'm thinking, something along the lines of that. We're not going to go with that exact system, but something along the lines of that where it's more so a sound that plays K-Lud ult from League. I don't play League, so I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what League is, but let me look it up. No, that's it. Played together. Probably don't want that. I mean, I don't know the context behind it, but yeah, it is the same thing of like a musical, like, yeah, theme. So that's probably what I would do, is just as you progress in kills, yeah, you would just get certain medals, and the sounds that go with that would just like increase in pitch, give you that kind of progression feeling, and then that's kind of what I'm going with. I'm not sure how I would do other medals, because obviously like Halo has specific medals like shotgun spree. Am I going to have a specific sound for whenever you get a shotgun spree? Because obviously in Halo it's very satisfying to hear Jeff Steitzer go shotgun spree. Like, I don't have as gorgeous of a voice as Jeff Steitzer has, but like, yeah, like
double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill-tacular,
music to my ears.
Kilimanjaro, kill-tastrophe, kill-pocalypse, killionaire. Friggin' believable.
Unfriggin' believable. Yeah.
Zombie killing.
See, like Halo has all these special medals of kill 5 zombies.
Hell's janitor, Hell's Jerome.
And you've got the shotgun sprees, energy sword sprees.
Sword spree, slice and dice.
Like, I obviously would like to have medals like that because, you know, it shows your proficiency with that weapon. However, if I'm just doing sound-based things, then coming up with completely unique sounds that are audibly unique becomes hard, because, you know, how do you create a... how do you create a whole bunch of different sounds for a whole bunch of different medals that are satisfying and unique and make sense for what that medal is? Like, that's going to be difficult. So I don't know, maybe we'll have Nova voice lines for I mean, I would love to hire Mr. Jeffrey Steitzer. Unfortunately though, I feel like honestly people would get mad at that. I feel like that would be a I feel like people would definitely get mad at that, but it's my game. I can do what I want, right? But yeah, that's kind of the idea behind doing medals. Yeah, I had thought about that too. My buddy and I, because the Nova's eyes will actually animate and move. So like they'll actually like look around and all. And my buddy and I I was messing around with it and having it like Nova look down, and like that could be funny if like every time you get a kill or something, Nova like looks down at the kill feed. That could be pretty funny. But the thing is Nova won't always be on your screen. She'll only be there when a Nova voice line is playing. So like she's on the screen now, but like she'll like slide off to the side and like fade out and like have a nice animation, but she'll just like she'll fade in and, you know, play the voice sound, and then she'll kind of sit there for a second or two just in case there's like another sound about to play, another voice line that's about to play, and then she'll animate back off to the side. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing, but we'll see. And then I guess if we have any other like characters or whatever, I'm trying to make this modular. That way, if we have any other things that speak, then that's something that, you know, it'll be modular, that we can have multiple characters like speaking. So I'm trying to build this. That's why it's called incoming voice. It's not called Nova. I've got this set up in such a way that I can just replace this image with whatever I want, and then I can replace the name with whatever I want, and the wave bar. Like, I'm trying to build this to be dynamic. But in theory, this will only be used for Nova. But Nova's mainly used for like game mode data stuff. So like she'll say, you know, oh, the enemy's taking your flag, or I don't know where. This is something I kind of need to talk to the voice actor about. But essentially, I'm thinking the voice actor is she'll kind of have full control over the personality of Nova. I'm not like super partial on what I want the personality to be. But you know, that's something that, yeah, I'm thinking. Yes, I was also thinking that, like, because of this, I have already thought about doing, yeah, like voice packs, different AIs. Like Halo Infinite has the AIs that you can choose. The Halo Infinite's AIs are just annoying. Like every time you pick up rockets, Butler says, "Ho ho, rockets." Why? It's so stupid. Or like you pick up a sniper and he goes, "I see headshots in your future." Oh, okay, Mr. Like, what's the thing called? Something sayer, like truth sayer, something like that. I don't know. Like I've always genuinely hated that in Halo Infinite. I like the idea of being able to choose your own AI. I just hate I just genuinely hate the fact that that they're just annoying. I just turn off the AIs as soon as I could. I turned off the AIs. You want to record your own voice pack? I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I've got a buddy. He actually does Halo YouTube videos. He's decently popular. Y'all might know him as the Chunkier Bean on YouTube. He does a really good Kermit the Frog impression, and him and I have already talked about it. We talked about this like 4 years ago. That's how long this has been in an idea in my head. Yeah, Cirque's not bad. I like Cirque. I actually think I have shoot, what's the one from Halo 3? Virgil? I don't know if that's the actual name, but I think that's what it is in Halo 3 ODST. I have Virgil as my AI when I used to play Infinite. I don't have Infinite installed anymore. My recycling bin is actually called, like, if I open up my recycle bin, it's actually, I renamed my recycle bin to Halo Infinite. So Infinite's not a bad game, it's just too little too late. All right. What we need to do but yeah, so that's kind of the idea. I'm not opposed to having multiple AIs in the campaign. If we do a campaign, Nova would be the AI. But like, that is the thing that I've thought of. I actually have another one of my friends who, she was actually the first person I asked to record voice lines, and she said she'd be down too. So I've got multiple friends who would be down to do voice acting for Onyx. So I could create multiple different, like, you know, maybe one, again, if they're in control of the character, maybe one of them, like, she's more calm and relaxed and like is just a more calm voice, and you've got the other one where it's like she's a lot more like enthusiastic and kind of like there's a lot of flair to her voice line. She doesn't just say the enemy team gained the lead. She might say the enemy team is surpassing you, or, you know, something like that, where Like, it doesn't have to be a strict voice line. It can be, you know, my brain's fried from work. You guys know what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. But I figured this is one of those like small details. The enemy team is kicking your ass. I mean, yeah, the game is rated M for a reason. Just like, I'm not having any monitoring, like the text chat. It's not going to censor any words. It's a game rated M. If you're an adult, sure, there might I'll have an option in the settings for you to turn on censorship if you want. If you're one of those people, and you really don't like or you don't like certain things, then sure, you can turn that on. But I don't care for censorship, so so yeah, I honestly very well could have one of the characters, one of the voices, be just like a military. Jeez, you guys are watching me mess up so much. You know, you could have that be like a military guy. You can have it like Sergeant Johnson, just yelling at you. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. It's just, like a lot of things in Onyx, I'm not opposed to doing a lot of stuff. It's just, do we have the time? Do we have the resources? And, you know, like the art style, I would love to have this grand art style, but obviously we have to get artists for that. So right now we're going with a very simple, stylized art style until we can get artists to be able to do what I would consider my ideal art style. And honestly, the art style right now, we're just doing basic prototype models because my modeler, he's great, he's super skilled, but he's going to college, so he really doesn't have the time to sink a ton of time into it. So it's like we gotta make compromises where we can. I would love to have a bunch of different voice packs. Like I said, my buddy Chunkier Bean, he did a lot of Halo videos. He was huge into Halo modding. Right now he's I think he's doing some just like personal stuff right now. He's not really doing much gaming, but he does a really good Kermit the Frog impression. I've got a clip on my computer of him saying some stuff during a Halo custom night, and we were all just dying laughing in that voice chat. And I've talked to him about doing a Kermit the Frog-esque. Obviously it wouldn't be called Kermit, but it'd be called like Froggy. I don't know if that'd be legal. I don't see why it wouldn't. But I've talked to him about doing like a Kermit the Frog voice pack, or a Kermit the Frog like announcer pack, which I think would be absolutely hilarious. Kermit the Frog here, like the enemy team. I can't do a good Kermit impression. I think the only decent thing I can say is Kermit the Frog here. But like, imagine Kermit the Frog telling you that the enemy team took your flag or that you're losing. Like, that'd be funny. There's 5 minutes remaining in the match. Like, to me that'd be super funny. And as long as it's not a legal issue, I don't know if it is. I'd have to look into the legality of that. Even though we're not using the name Kermit the Frog, it'd just be called Froggy. Like, I don't know. I would love to do that though, and it'd be super easy. I'm designing the systems to all be modular, so I'm building it to allow that. If we don't get to that, whoop-de-doo. It'll still work just the same. But yeah, limited by like you said, time and resources. The biggest resource being time. So, and motivation. Anyways, if we go throw this wave visualizer into this, and we turn number of bars to like, that's a lot. Let's go number of bars like 100. Okay, that's much better. I'm gonna put spacing in between them, but I just want to get this working first. So wave visualizer, you need to create a function for add new value, I guess. I really don't know what to call this. But basically this will be a float of the amplitude of the sound. So basically we're going to have an array. This is how I'm thinking of doing it. I don't know if it'll work, but amplitudes, I think that's the right term I'm looking for. Make this an array, and then every time we add, actually, yeah, we want to add this to the end, and then we want to remove the first item. So essentially, I don't know why I keep doing this like I'm teaching you guys. I just think it's fun because it also helps me visualize it to make sure I'm doing what I want. So basically, if we have all of these bars, basically what we're going to do is, like, if we have different heights, these will all be like flying over to the right. Oh boy, these will all be like shifting over to the right. So as we add a new value, so let's say this new value is super low, we want to delete the last one. So that's what we're doing here. Is oh, that didn't work. That was a terrible showcase. Yeah, basically every time we add one, we want to add one to the end and then remove the last one. So we'll see if this works. But first we need to check if the length is greater than the number of bars. And if the length is greater than the number of bars, then we want to remove the first item in the array. So it'll technically be backwards, but that's just how arrays work. You add it into a list, you're adding to the end, and then we're going to remove the first one. But in theory, the first one's over here. Just trust me. I think this will work. Yeah. And then I want to create a new function for update bars. So first off, I'm going to get this to work, and it'll run backwards, but you'll get the idea, and then we'll just flip it. We want to get the keys. That way, this is an integer array for each of these indexes. We want to get the corresponding amplitude. And then once we update the values, then we want to update bars, because we're going to be dropping bars with this update. And this music visualizer, in theory, or this wave visualizer, in theory, I could actually stick on the main menu music player too. So so that this pop-in menu music that's playing, you can actually see a wave visualizer of it. As long as we find this, we want to get image. Is that not exposed? No, it's not. img underscore bar. Let's make this a variable. Yep. Then we want to set size. Set brush. I don't know if there's a good way to just set the brush size. Because I just need to set the Y, so this will change the vertical size of it. Oh wait, no, I need to make, my bad. Split, what am I doing? In this case, we are going to do set brush from texture, because that gives us, that does not give us size. Set brush from material. None of these give us an input of size, interesting. We'll see if this works. And then what we'll do is just we need to set a timer by event. We're gonna want this to be like 0.1, so this updates 10 times a second. I think that'll feel good. Looping, create event. We're gonna create a new function called update visualizer. Let's make this nice and neat. And then in here, we're going to get wave visualizer and just call add new value. And we're just going to add a value of 0.5. Sure. And in theory, if we click play, yeah, I don't see those bars. So let's see what happens if I add a value of 20. We should see them, I think. We don't even see them at all. That's so nice for me. What happens if we just do this? Okay, we do see them then. So it is running the event. It's adding 20 to the amplitudes. If the length of this is greater than the number of bars, we want to remove the first index. And then in here we're looping through all the bars, finding them. And we're setting the desired size to 0. Oops. Let's set the desired size Y. We want this to be 2. So it's working because it was setting it to 0. So now let's just do a random float in range of, let's say, 2 and 50. See how that feels. I didn't plug it back in. I am so dumb. Oh wait, or did I? Oh, there, my bad. We need to on the wave visualizer, we need to set set vertical alignment to center, and we need to set horizontal alignment to left, I believe. I don't know, let's see. Desired wave bar, if we add this to this, oh my. The only issue with the pre-construct is it runs even on its own. So yeah, if we set this to horizontal and this to left, then yeah, that shows up properly. So desired compile, let's plug this back in and let's see if this works now. I mean, yeah, it's working. You can kind of see. Yeah, look at that. See, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted that nice scrolling effect. Now, obviously, it's really slow. There's also going to be spacing in between these, so we don't need as many. And then we need to make it go backwards. So, yeah, we can fix the speed real fast. Actually, we'll wait on the speed. Let's work on putting a gap in between all of them. I know, I'm happy with how this is coming together, especially, and then like once we get if we get it to look like this, which I don't think I'll be able to get these like smooth waveforms. That's gonna be hard, but the bars is what we're doing. But if we can get it to look like this, dude, that's gonna look sick. All right, yeah, let's get spacing. Bar spacing, and then let's go float. And what we want to do is set padding. And for the padding, we only want to set the padding on the right side. So this should be incoming voice. Yeah, you can see it's just a bar. If we set the bar spacing to like 5 pixels, oh, look at that! It works so perfect. 2. Yeah, let's just try 2 pixels for now. And now we can shorten the number of bars to like 50. Yeah. And then let's go to wave visualizer. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. Let's do let's keep doing this modular, and let's do bars per second. Let's do this as a float. Bars per second divided by 1. No, 1 divided by bars per second, and that'll be our time. So 0.1 would have been 10 bars per second. Let's bump that up to like 20 and see how that feels. That's even slow. Honestly, we might want to do like 60. But I also do want to clamp this. So let's create a function in wavebar for update size. And then we're going to do, we need to create a variable called max height. That'll be an integer. And we want that to be exposed. And then we want to lerp. You can't lerp between integers. That's interesting. I guess lerp is only a float thing, which makes sense. Floats have precision. 2, let's go back into wave visualizer and update bars. I want to copy this. And then now we need to call did I already forget what I called it? Update size. Yeah. Now, the big thing is I need to figure out if from an audio file we can get the maximum amplitude of that file. Because if we can get the maximum amplitude, then we can divide all this and we can get a pretty nice waveform going. But for now, we're just going to do this. We'll just set this up to test. And then we can get it working with an actual audio file. So in theory, when it starts now, that didn't work. Actually, I think we'll just do a desired size. And then we want to clamp this instead, not clamp axis. Not clamp angle. We want the minimum to be 2 because we always want the height to be a minimum of like a square. And then the max, we want this to be whatever our max height is. But our max height is 0. That's why it wasn't working. I'm stupid. When we spawned these, we weren't setting a max height. For now, let's just set this to 50. We'll also parameterize that. But let's see what this looks like now. I mean, yeah, it's definitely gonna need a background behind the. Ugh. Nova's being stretched. That's not good. Incoming voice. I need to wrap this with a size box and make this maximum height. What is the size of this? 60. Height override 60. she oval shaped. She getting a little oblong there. And then yeah, we'll see what that does. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if we also the chromatic aberration is kind of extreme at this part of the HUD. I might want to turn that down a little. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's get it to work backwards. Which I think all we need to do for that is to get the opposite of number of bars. So if this index, we should always start at 1. Can we remap integers? No, you can't. So I think what we need to do is do number of bars plus 1 minus this. It doesn't matter what order for subtraction, but this just shut up. I think that'll work. Let's see. I mean, it do be shifting to the right, but it's also not getting the last one, so maybe we don't need that plus 1. Which one is it? This one. Goodness gracious. Huh. That's a little weird. I guess what I need to do is, because I don't know if you guys see it filling from the end. Like, goodness, it's super hard to see, but it fills from the end. So I don't want that. I want it to start from the left side. It's like filling from the end because there's nothing in that array. So I think also on our construction script, we also just need to add an empty size to fit. The index should be whatever this is. We also just need to populate this array with empty values, so just zeros. That way it has something to go with. Yeah, exactly like that. Perfect. Cool. I mean, that works. It's random, but it does work. So let us get this working with sounds now. So incoming voice, we need to have a function for play new sound. And we need to have an input of sound base object. Okay. Although this might not work well with my meta systems system. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, we don't even need this. What am I doing? I have a tutorial up on this. On how to actually do the reactive thing. It's just the I don't know what the in this video. Super robotic voice. This is the voice we need for Nova. Yeah.
Join the data to the Z.
Get cooked amplitude envelope. Dude, that amplitude envelope data, it's so cooked. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. Get cooked amplitude for all playing sounds. Achieves cooked amplitude envelope data at the current playback time. If there are multiple sound waves playing, data is interpolated and averaged across all playing sounds. Interesting. Is there something like that for meta sounds? Curious now. Interesting. I don't know, because I'm definitely going to want to convert this to use meta sounds instead. So if I can use this to grab a certain sound within meta sounds, that would be great. I don't know if I can though. And then we just need to do a convert to validated get only if this is valid and is playing, I guess. I don't really know what if this can be valid and not playing, but we're just going to do this. And we're going to copy and paste this down here. If it's not valid and it's playing, what am I doing? So stupid. It can't be playing if it's not valid. But I'm certain it can be playing if it can't be playing if it is valid. And what we're going to do here is just add a 0 value if we are not playing anything. And now let us set up a debug key in my player. Blueprints, pawns, player. Go to my temp graph. Debug. Spacebar. Oh, right, you can't change that. Debug key. I don't know what keys I'm not using. Let's go with U. And we want to get HUD widget blueprint. Cast to HUD. I could just tell it to play the death sounds. Which, speaking of death sounds, I just added 33 new death sounds this morning that I recorded while I was house sitting for a buddy this weekend. So there's plenty of new death sounds. So don't you worry. Yeah, let's go testing. Grab all 3 of these and drag these into here.
Tied the lost, gained the lead.
Okay. Gain the lead, I think, is the longest one, so we'll test that. Alright, y'all ready? No audio is playing. It didn't work. What happened? That makes absolutely no sense. Maybe that'll work. Interesting. The whole point is that it's not valid, and we're trying to set that. So, why? Do I just have to stick something in there?
Gained the lead, gained the lead. Gained the lead.
Okay.
Gained the lead.
Well, it ain't playing it.
Browser. I like to right-click the audio and convert to sound cues. With sound cues, you can do more editing within it.
Okay.
This will be our sound. Select the
Okay. Alright, I'm jumping to the
environment to
tutorial.
interact with. We can get our want to create and say. Sometimes it barely makes an effect. You can.
Oh, yeah, it might just be that it's so small it's not doing anything. Let's debug the amplitude. Let's print out the values of the amplitude. Or envelope. Gain the lead.
Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead.
Oh, it's just 0. Which means there is no cooked data. Do I need to do that? Oh, he explains the audio settings right here. I'm stupid. I probably
Import
should have
any
watched the entire
audio.
tutorial.
Open it up and you need to go to the envelope data and tick enable amplitude envelope analysis. Save it and go back to
Okay, so that is just it. I'm big brained. I'm big brained.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Okay, it is working. It's just very, 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 very.
Gain the lead.
What's the highest value in there?
Gain the lead.
Highest value in there's like 0.2. Amplitude. Actually, I know this is only going to return one, so we get a copy, and then we break. Oh, interesting. Let me look this up, see if there's a way to get the max amplitude of a sound. Nope, there's not a way to get the max amplitude. So we're just gonna have to divide this by a flat value. If we say 0.25, then dividing by 0.25 and clamping. Actually, we don't really need to clamp that. Now, if we go into here and we add new value. We update bars and we update size. Now we can use this to once again lerp between 2 and our max height. Now let us try this.
Gain the lead.
And now it's just, oh, what was that?
Gain the lead.
I broke something. Don't get mad at me, please. Okay, when we add the new value. All right, let's print it out again, I guess. What is that?
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of game dev is you hear and you see things so often and just like over and over and over again. Like, what was it the other day? I think it was something like relay. And whenever I was doing the shield stuff, shield just started to look like it was spelled wrong. It was just so bad. This is gonna muddy up the side of my screen. Why is this thing shooting to 100? Update bars.
Gained the lead.
Guys, I broke it. I don't know what I did wrong. There's actually zero reason why these values should be returning the way they are. This is just returning a constant 100, which means if I print this out, okay, tell me how this makes sense. So we're taking in a value of 0, right? And let me just make sure that I'm not crazy. Yeah, we're taking in a value of 0. We're clamping that to 0 or 1, or from the minimum of 0 and a min of 0, max of 1. So this value will never be less than 0 and it'll never be more than 1, but the value is 0. So it's just going to stay 0. And then shut up. I swear I know how to code. I swear I know how to code. I promise you I know what I'm doing some days. Some days. All right, with 100% certainty, this will work.
Gained the lead. Gained the lead.
I mean, it does work. It's just not as random as you would expect it to be. Yeah. That's because of this value that I have here. So like if I stick this to 0.5, it's definitely going to peak a lot less.
Gained the lead. Gained the lead.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, it was just that my value is super high. Can I add metadata to sound files? Wondering if there's some way I can like record the max amplitude of the sound just by playing it and then save that somehow in the sound file that I can then get later. Can I get the comment? No. Nope, I can't do anything with that either. Okay. Because I would love to set the max amplitude, which is essentially what this is. I would love to set the max amplitude to whatever the peak amplitude is. That way, whatever the max amplitude is would be the peak value. Even then, this is a little too...
Gained the lead. Gained the
It's a
lead.
little too smooth when you look at it. I mean, you look at something like that photo we looked at. You've got a lot more uppy down, uppy down, uppy down, uppy down. Maybe if we turn up the speed? Honestly, we're already going pretty fast. I don't know if we can turn up the speed. Bars per second, if we set that to instead, like, let's go 180. See how crazy that gets.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Yeah, it's a little too smooth. Maybe, I don't know if that's one of the settings in the envelope. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Okay, what if we set this to like 10? Okay, the lowest we can go is 512. We can't even go 256? Nope, lowest we can go is 512. Release time. Let's go with 1 for both of those. I want the raw envelope.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
I mean, that's slightly better. Let's change the speed. Incoming voice, bars per second. Let's set this to like 120. That's so weird that I can't just create a sound 2D that has an empty sound. That's so weird that that breaks it. Yeah, I guess we just put a sound in there with the sound multiplier of 0. Or volume multiplier. And then just whenever we set the sound, we just set it back to 1. That'll work.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Okay, I'll stop playing it. I promise. But let's go get the other ones to work. Envelope, check. 512, 1, save, and then envelope, 512, 1, save, and then let's go to the debug player, and when we play the sound, we want to do a select, and we'll random integer in range 0 to 2, gain the lead, lost the lead, tied the leader. Perfect. So now it'll be random, so we're not just hearing the exact same sound every single time. Should be better.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. Lost the lead. Gain the lead. Lost the lead. Gain the lead. Tied the leader. Lost the lead. Tied the leader. Gain the lead.
I still want some random variance in it, so I'm going to attempt something. I'm going to multiply this by a random float in range. This is the part of game dev that you never think about. I never, like, if we just look at the amplitude of it, it's just a perfect amplitude. So if we just do some nice game dev trickery to make it look better. Let's see how this looks instead.
Gain the lead. Tied the leader.
I mean, that does look more random.
Lost the lead.
I quite like that.
Gain the lead. Lost the lead. Tied the leader.
What do you guys think? Should I make it more extreme? Should I make it faster? Should I make it slower? Any changes you guys can think of before we start getting to animating Nova's little face? I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to apply an emotion to each voice line, and then I'll create a bunch of loops, a bunch of like emotion loops, and then whenever a sound cue is played, it'll then like play that sound cue, I guess, if that makes sense. It'll play that sound cue and then it'll say like, oh, like lost the lead. That's kind of like a sad emotion, so it'll play the sad animation and the eyes will kind of like, the way I was explaining it is like, okay, get this out the way. It'll kind of like, the eyes will kind of like droop down and like the eye will like move down to the bottom of the screen and like be like super sad, you know. And then you can have the eyes blink. We're gonna have to set up a custom material in order to get the eyes to be able to do all that. But yeah, we can do another color. I already have it to where it's setting the text color to your HUD color, so I can just create a function here called set bar colors. Take an input of linear color. I assume you're talking about setting the bar colors to something other than white. Why am I in my HUD? I don't need to be in the HUD. Okay, when we set this, we can then just grab the wave visualizer and call update color, set bar colors. Whoops. That should set them.
Tie the leader.
It does not. Why doesn't it?
Gain the lead.
Interesting. I guess we do have to do the for each on it. I guess that doesn't work in all places. Oh, no, it does. We just never set up what the actual set color does. I am stupid. We want to get image bar, set color, and opacity. Split this to... Oh, never mind. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Ideally, this would glow. So, yeah, ideally I would like this to glow. However, that would require this to be turned into a material instead of a widget, which isn't hard, but that makes the whole indexing of it harder. So, I'll have to think about that. I think for now, code-wise,
Lost the lead. Lost the lead. Gained the lead.
yeah, I mean, it works. Oh, also, there's some new sounds I don't think you guys have heard. If I like drop this and I go pick this up, ready? I'll pause the music for you.
Make an MP3 file.
That's the YouTube video. I do not want to watch the YouTube video right now. Oh, baby. We have equipment equip sounds. Oh, yeah. Yeah, also the weapons despawn, but I need to change their despawn settings. Oh, that... Oh, my game just froze. That's nice. I appreciate that. The Giant Spiral, that's just so I can... I don't have zip lines. If I were to have zip lines, this thing would be... or I don't have zip lines in yet. But that's just so I could have... That's just so I could get to tall areas to test the ground pound.
Gained the lead.
Alright, let's fix some of the spacing on this. There we go. Now that's kind of lined up with the top of the end because this is slanted. So yeah, I guess we should work on animating Nova. Actually, that's probably something that I can just do on my like lunch breaks because I come home. So I'm happy with this. So actually, let's work on getting a debug key to, well, we'll just use the same debug key, I guess, to call the, so that anytime my brain, goodness gracious, I need to go to sleep. Fortunately, my brother and I are moving the couch, so I gotta stay up so I can help him move the couch. Create a new animation. Let's call this show incoming voice. And then let's add incoming voice. Thinking this should, yeah, quarter of a second should be plenty. Let's add a transform and a render opacity. That should be all we need. Alright, so for showing it, then we want it to start off the screen. So we want it to start like here. So let's just do -320. Okay, that's a bit slow. Let's go with 0.15. That's slightly longer than what my rule for UI animations. My rule is 0.1 for stuff that needs to be interacted with, 0.1. But yeah, that feels good. Okay, now let's get it to scale. Let's add some nice scale to it. kind of hard to see, only because there's no border around it. Like you can tell it's scaling in. I guess because it's scaling though, we don't need it to be all the way, so yeah, we can do like negative 250. Yeah, let's see how that feels. Yeah, that feels good. What if we had some like... Oh, let me select it. Please stop autosaving. Ooh, I kind of like that. Having it kind of come up at an angle. And then now we just stick opacity on as the last layer. Not really noticeable. But it do work. That's weird. Why is the last keyframe not running? There we go. What do you guys think? I think it looks good for a little, just simple activation. Super quick. I like it. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. And I can't deselect the animation. That's kind of dumb. Ooh, I kind of like that. Just adding more and more layers to the animation. Or what if we went the other way? What if we went positive 25? Ooh, I think I like that better. It's kind of like flipping into place. All right. Well then, let's add a function called play voice line, I guess. People are texting me. I'm famous. That's not true. Alright, so what we need to do is... It's a good question. How do I want to set this up? I guess we need a variable for is incoming voice viz. Is incoming voice visible? If incoming voice is not visible, then we want to if it's not visible, then boom, we want to get show incoming voice, and we want to play animation forward cue play. Interesting. Play animation forward. And then if it isn't visible, we don't care. And then we need to have on the incoming voice, that's not what I wanted. We need to bind to on audio finished. And then we're going to create an event dispatcher called voice line finished. Dang, I am tired. I'll be carrying the sofa up the stairs and I'll trip and fall. I hope not. Alright, one audio finished, we do that. Now we can go into HUD and we can select our Wager Blueprint incoming voice, bind to voice line finished. Hehe, this is going to work great. And then on the voice line finished, we check if incoming voice is visible, which it should be. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, but it's always good to check. And we get show incoming voice, play reverse, or play animation reverse. Yeah. And we might just make a reverse animation, but I think it'll be better to do it this way because the animation works forward and backward. But we also need to set incoming voice visible to false, and then in place play voice line we need to set it to true. So now that this works, oh, we also need to call the play voice line on it. What is that called? What function was that? Play new sound. And you guys might notice that there's actually oh, it's not there anymore. Never mind, ignore me. Alright, so this call is finished. This calls that. This calls play new sound. Now we just need BP player to instead call voice. Yeah, play voice line. I created this function 3 minutes ago. I already forgot what it was called. And by default, we need to make... Oh my goodness. I hate that you can't deselect animations, which forces it to be in that state. By default, we want this to be an opacity of 0, so we just don't see this. Oh, we're running around, we're shooting, we're getting kills.
Lost the lead.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Tied the leader. Tied the leader.
We might want to delay it a little. I could do that in the voice line itself, but I'm just gonna code it in there because actually I want to edit the animation a little bit. Let's put this at 60 FPS so I can get really nitty gritty. I don't know if that's a little much. Yeah, it's a little much. And actually, I might only do it on the X. Make it nice and bouncy. How does that look in reverse, though? Yeah, it's fine in reverse. I don't mind it. Adds a little bounciness to it. Makes it feel a little better. Actually, I think I just want to delay the closing of it. HUD updates. So yeah, whenever the line finishes. Actually, we can do that in here. So whenever this finishes, we can do a gate. No. We want to do just a delay. Retriggerable delay. Retriggerable delay. Of, let's do like 0.5. And then we want to check if the current voice line is playing. Because basically what happens if this finishes and then another voice line immediately starts playing, it would just disappear while the other voice line is playing. So we'll do a little delay, that way it stays on the screen a little longer. And then we'll check, right before we remove it, we'll check, hey, are we playing anything? If we're not playing anything, then it'll remove it. And then, yeah, if we start playing another sound and this finishes, then it won't remove it. So let's see how that works.
Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Tied the leader.
Like that.
Lost the lead. Tied the leader.
Ooh, there's a bug. Why? I didn't drag it. I don't. Stop it. Get some help. This is what we want to do. I was spamming the key and it wouldn't let me finish it until the widget started going away, so.
Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Tied the leader. Tied the leader. Lost the lead. Lost the lead. Lost the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead.
Yeah, look at that. However, I want to change the pivot of it. Yeah, I want to change the pivot. Where is it? Pivot to 0. Ooh, that changes the entire animation. Huh. Yeah, I like that. Let's test that in game.
Gained the lead. Lost the lead.
Yeah, I think that feels good. What do you guys
Lost the
think?
lead.
You guys like
Lost
it?
the lead. Tied the leader.
I mean, even if art-wise it's not fully complete, code-wise it is. We've got the
Lost the lead.
We've got the nice little.
Gained the lead.
Dude, that's so good.
Gained
I
the
like
lead.
that.
Lost the lead. Lost the lead. Lost the lead.
And especially with longer voice lines, like instead of just lost the lead, like instead of they're like your team has lost your lead or something like that. Like if we have more like character in the voice lines, then what happened to my textures? Huh. Strange. There we go. That was very strange. This is feeling good.
Tied the leader. Gained the lead. Lost the lead. Gained the lead. Gained the lead. Lost the lead. Lost the lead.
Yeah, and if even if the voice line starts playing while it's in the middle of the animation, it'll properly do it. Cool. I'm happy with that. What time is it for me? Dang, 10:40. Well, that's the time my brother said we'd be leaving. So, not quite all that I wanted to get done today. I might stream tomorrow. However, a new game called Split Fiction came out, and me and my boy are gonna play that. So we're probably gonna be spending all day playing that because it's a story game. If y'all haven't seen it, if y'all know the game, It Takes Two and all those games, yeah. Well, there's the gameplay reveal trailer. I don't want to watch the story reveal. But basically, long story short, one of these women is a sci-fi writer. She's a sci-fi writer, and she's a, I think that's the right one, but I think she's a sci-fi writer, and she writes fantasy. And there's some, like, I don't know, you'll see.
We sure cause a lot of explosions.
Okay,
Yeah, you play it split
because
screen,
I'm about to show you Hazelight's next
which is
co-op
really fun.
adventure called Split Fiction. And let me tell you this, get ready for a ride. You play as Mio and Zoe, two aspiring writers that hopes to get published by a new tech company that can simulate their stories to life.
I can't do this.
Please calm down. It's time. You can't shut. No!
Accidentally, they end up in the same simulation.
What are you doing in my story? Something bad is going on here.
And there, they find out that their stories are about to get stolen.
No one escapes my simulation.
And in order to save them, they have to escape back to reality through the very worlds that they created.
Hands above your heads.
But the thing is, they're strangers, and Mio writes sci-fi, while Zoe writes fantasy. So you will, for every level in the game, jump between a
I've already
sci-fi
called
world
dibs on the sci-fi woman. So, and there's like a bunch of like different like play styles and stuff. So
We at Hazelight love variation, and you'll have a unique mechanic for every level. Let me give you some examples. In this level, you start out by finding dragon eggs that hatch.
Hey, stop licking.
And then, they become a little bit bigger dragons with new abilities.
yeah, that's the game that we got. So we already pre-installed it. And yeah, it just fully released yesterday. So either once he gets off of work today or tomorrow, whenever both of us are awake, we're gonna be playing that. So I don't know how much code I'm gonna get done this weekend because we're gonna be playing the crap out of that. It looks really fun. So and there's a lot with those games. There's always a bunch of like side mini games that you can do that we always do, and so it might not be some code to get done this week. But the things that I would like to get done, the next thing on my checklist, I was going to do animations, but then I realized this is fairly important stuff to me, is right now the scores don't work. Like the other player's score just says 69, and it doesn't swap, it doesn't have numbers. Like this entire thing down here isn't properly working. The other day that I streamed, we got this working. I want to get this fully working, and then I also want to get the little like notification bar that is supposed to show up here. Let me see if I can find the video of that. So let me just download it. So this is what I don't care. This is what I had working in the Gen 2 version for this. So you'll see a little like notification pop up from the bottom. Oh, it just starts in the middle, whatever. It starts right here. And then it's boom, red team has your flag. And there's a bunch of different layers for that. So like if it's something that's like a timed thing, there'll be a bar at the bottom that moves. Like for the animation, when this scales inwards, like this will have different icons. So like if it's a like dangerous thing, then it'll have like an exclamation mark. If it's more like a world update, it might be like yellow. Like they'll have different colors. But essentially I need to get this working again. And then the last thing is the radar. If players are near the edge of it, or if there's like players like in the distance shooting and they're appearing on radar, it'll add a little like edge thing on the edge of the radar to show you that there's somebody in that direction. And that one I have a pretty cool idea to do, so I can't wait to work on that. But those are the three things that I think are the last few. Oh, and then the reticles and hit markers need to use the little like HUD material. So those are all the things that I need to do before I consider the HUD fully finished. So those are the things that's my current checklist for the next week. And then once those are finished, my buddy wants me to work on ADS, which does require some animations. So I will be doing some animations. But he wants me to work on ADS. That way I can zoom on the pistol to make longer range gunfights easier. So yeah. But anyways, I got to go. So thank you all for joining. I'll probably do a dev stream or 2 next week. Yeah, I think we made some good progress today. I'm very happy with how this turned out. The waveform thing looks great.
Tied the leader.
Got some
Gained the lead.
nice animations for it.
Tied the leader.
Could be a little higher.
Gained the lead.
But yeah, I'll work on animating the Nova face, and getting some like emotion stuff done, because I think that'll play a huge part in making it feel alive. Yeah. So anyways, on that note, I will see y'all later. Thanks for joining. Until next time. See ya.